The story begins with four people trekking through the dense Chinese rainforest. Their guide warns them about the dangers lurking ahead, particularly the crimson anaconda, the biggest and most dangerous man-eating sneak in the world, believed to be summoned by cannibals. Despite the ominous warning, one of the passengers named Jeff seems unfazed as he casually sips from a bottle containing a snake. It turns out there are not ordinary travelers, but a group of snake poachers as they navigate the treacherous waters. Tensions rise when the guy demands more money. Jeff, with a smirk, tosses the cash disrespectfully in a shocking turn of events. Jeff violently stabs and dispatches the guide, leaving his companions in disbelief. Meanwhile, the crimson anaconda lurks nearby. Adding to the suspense, Jeff's confidence grows after finding female anaconda's pheromone, as they knew their destination. He spots signs confirming the existence of the legendary snake, including a statue and freshly shed anaconda ski, while his friends are excited about the prospect of wealth. From collecting snakes, Jeff has darker intentions armed with tranquilizers. He sets off on a hunt, while his friends gather snakes back at the boat. The Time member of the group is horrified to find the guide's body resurfaced. Suddenly, a massive crimson anaconda swoops in. Fate has other plans as a troop of mischievous monkeys distracts the serpent, causing it to abandon, its meal leaving behind only a mangled corpse. Meanwhile, in a completely different setting, the spotlight shines on Mr. Song. Circus extravaganza amidst the data, oil, and excitement. The audience is treated to the spectacle of a lifetime, just as discontent begins to brew. The enchanting All He takes the stage, captivating everyone with her beauty and skillful, dark throwing. As the night progresses, tensions reaches its peak. During Gone Land's daring stunt, locked in a water-filled safe with her hands cuffed, she struggles against a ticking clock. The audience holds its breath as a python unexpectedly joins the fray, adding an extra layer of suspense just when it seems all hope is lost. Lon emerges victorious, the python and hand revealing. It was all part of the act, but the night takes a dark turn as the audience feeling cheated by Mr. Song's fake displays. Demand retribution tempers flair as they demand refunds, or shockingly for Lon to disrupt, refusing to be objectified line stands or ground. But all he steps in, using her charm to defuse the situation. Amid the chaos, Mr. Song's frustration boils over as he confronts Lon, berating her for her perceived arrogance and threatening repercussions for the entire troupe. As tensions simmer and tempers flare, a mysterious figure named Gene enters the scene, waving around a fat wad of cash. He strikes a deal with Mr. Song, buying up the entire troupe of performers. Once Mr. Song leaves, whispers start circulating. Turns out Gene used to be part of the crew, before striking it rich with Gene, flaunting his newfound wealth. All he sees an opportunity. She turns on the charm, luring Gene in with promises of a good time. Not everyone is thrilled about Gene's arrival the next day. Jobin can't shake off a feeling of sadness with Long Gone, who will look out for them after all these years. Meanwhile, Gene she shoot the breeze, with the captain wishing him smooth sailing. He then seeks advice from Mr. Zhang, the towers of the crew, who suggests leaving, but Gene's determined to wait for Lon. Sure enough, Launch shows up, bringing smiles to job-paying Dodgers' faces, much to Ollie's chagrin. Lon strikes a deal with Gene, one last show. Then she's done. Gene agrees and dashes off to the restroom, where he makes a sketchy phone call about a delivery, but his signal craps out, leading to him checking his phone into the water. As Gene's mind wanders, he spots Lon in the next room through a hole in the wall, and things take a turn for the creepy. But before he can get too carried away, a little snake sneaks up and bites him where it hurts the most. Luckily, it's not venomous, much to Gene's relief, but his troubles aren't over yet. When he emerges, he finds Ali waiting for him, ready for some alone time, just as things start heating up. He freaks out at the sight of a Dada dressed as a zombie. The tension reaches a peak when the zombie man is brought in for questioning. only for Gene to drop a bombshell. He's actually Gina's cousin and part of their crew. When prodded about what he's been up to, the cousin sheepishly admits he's been practicing sleeping while standing just as he was instructed, but as the night fades into dawn, a new problem arises. The captain discovers the path blocked by wooden coffins. Panic spreads like wildfire, especially when Gene blurts out that the cellar won't tolerate any delays. Lon senses trouble brewing, prompting Gene to backtrack and order the captain to act fast if they want to get paid. Quick thinking saves the day as the captain's sense job, paying and the cousin to rig the coffins with explosives with a deafening blast. The coffins explode, unleashing a deluge of slithering snakes onto the boat. Just when things couldn't get any worse, Jeff swoops in to save the day, pulling Gene to safety and introducing himself to the crew. But their relief is short-lived as Daji's condition deteriorates. Rapidly jumping into a panic with quick thinking, Jeff makes a daring move using a cut on his finger, or to lure a tiny snake out of Daji's ear, potentially saving his life. Lon observes Jeff standing calmly despite being bitten by a venomous snake and senses that something isn't quite right that evening. Non-confronts Gene about Jeff's deception, but Gene brushes off her concerns, refusing to heed her request to drop Jeff off the boat. Meanwhile, Jeff resorts to underhanded tactics, attempting to bribe the captain into leading him to the location of the elusive Crimson Anaconda, but the captain staunchly refuses, warning Jeff of the area's crusade reputation, and it's dangerous for poachers like him. Undeterred, Jeff hatches a sinister plan. The tension mounts as the captain's dog is attacked by a myth during his creature, followed by the captain himself disappearing while trying to retrieve his fishing gear. Lon, following a trail of blood, confronts Jeff about the captain's disappearance, growing increasingly suspicious of his involvement as Jeff and Lon exchange words. Genie emerges with news of the captain's disappearance. Justin Jeff's warning of impending danger is proven right as the forest comes alive with the sound of frightened birds. The Crimson Anaconda makes its dramatic entrance, lured by Jeff's use of the captain's body as bait, in a desperate attempt to control the situation. Lon pleads with Jeff to avoid provoking the snake further, but chaos erupts as the anaconda strikes back, breaking free from Jeff's hold and dragging him into the water. As the crew abandons ship and reaches the safety of the shore, they're left bewildered by the harrowing ordeal they've just endured. Lon directs her frustration at Jeff, accusing him of using their boat as bait to trap the snake. Jeff defends his actions, arguing that they could have struck it rich if they cooperated. A sentiment that finds agreement from Gene, who allies himself with Jeff, despite Jeff's assurance that he has a plan. Lon remains skeptical, demanding he come clean about captains' death. Jeff's avoidance of her gaze speaks volumes, leaving doubts lingering in the air. The situation takes a dire turn when he falls ill, her condition revealing. She's been bitten by a venomous snake and urgent the antibiotics within 48 hours with no other choice. Lon begrudgingly agrees to join forces with Jeff, and the crew sets off on foot through the dense forest as they pause for a rest. Jeff intervenes just in time to stop Ali from drinking contaminated water infested with mantis, his warning of the payroll they pose in a surprising turn of events. Jeff spots a python lurking in a tree trunk and swiftly captures it, announcing it as their lunch, while Jeff fearlessly devours the raw snake. His companions look on in disgust. Gene's attempt at offering Jeff a cooked piece backfired spectacularly, resulting in an unexpected bout of naga. Amid the chaos, the Crimson Snake strikes again, seizing Gar, paying line and Daji. I desperately cling to him as Jeff springs into action, wielding a makeshift spear to fend off the snake and rescue their friend. Unbeknownst to them, a parasite silently infiltrates the cousin's body, a sinister development with ominous implications as night falls. Jeff leads the crew to a makeshift campsite, used by poachers, claiming it's the safest option. Thanks to the snake repellent spread around, Lon offers comfort to Gr, painting and Daji out before turning her attention to Ali, who questions her motives for tagging along. Lon skillfully distracts Ali, sharing chocolate to ease her stress and foster a sense of camaraderie amidst the uncertainty. As the crew settle, as in Ali's gaze falls upon a piece of chocolate, triggering a flood of emotions as she recalls her brother's love for the sweet treat, she confides in Lon, revealing that her brother's illness has deprived him of simple joys like chocolate and expresses her determination to earn enough money to fund his treatment. Meanwhile, Jeff reflects on his past encounter with the Crimson Anaconda, recounting his narrow escape by hiding in a coffin. Jean approaches him intrigued by the potential fortune that could be made by capturing the rare and valuable snake. Despite the risks, Jean eagerly joined forces with Jeff, sharing a surprising connection with the creature in a disturbing revelation. Jean admits to Jeff his dark intentions of selling the performers for organ trafficking, adding a layer of moral ambiguity to their partnership. Jong, roused from a troubled sleep by visions of their demise at the hands of the Crimson. Anaconda discovers the cousin missing and later finds him at the water's edge. The cousin now infected and under the snakes. Influence defies Shanks, attempts to save him, ultimately succumbing to the Anaconda's grasp the next morning as the crew presses forward. Jeff reveals they must navigate through water, sending shivers down Jang's spine. His worst fears come true when the Crimson Anaconda seizes him. Well, 3 action after the tragic loss of Jong. The crew discovers Jeff's boat, where he fulfills his promise by sharing antibiotics with Line. However, tensions rise as Jumping insists on leaving, prompting Jeff to intervene and demand their cooperation in capturing the snake when Lon and her friend refuse. They find themselves bound in row, betrayed by Jean's treachery. Jean reveals his sinister plan to use Jumping and Dodgy Hour's bait. He informs them that he intended to sell them to organ traffickers since the beginning, deepening the sense of betrayal within the group as Jean updates Jeff on their captive situation. Jeff turns to drastic measures, forcing Lot to drink, his special snake use amid the chaos. Ollie attempts to distract Jeff with promises of a good time. But her plan is sported when Lon intervenes, saving her from Jeff's clutches, but their confrontation is interrupted by the appearance of the Crimson Anaconda, targeting GR Paying and Dodgy Out, while Jean celebrates the snake taking the bait. He's oblivious to the imminent danger as another anaconda attacks and kills him. As the dust settles, Ali's condition worsens, and despite Lan's efforts to comfort her, Ali passes away interesting Line with the heartbreaking task of concealing her death from her brother. As Lon and her friends attempt to escape, they're shocked when Jeff suddenly appears, firing a tranquilizer, a dodgy as. Back much to their disbelief, Jeff reveals he survived by decapitating the snake that attacked him earlier. He then binds the trio as bait setting, a trap for the snake. But their plans take an unexpected turn when multiple anacondas converge on their location, only to be driven off by the terrifying, mutated reed-spotted Crimson Anaconda with the snake taking the bait. Jeff springs his trap, causing the snake to panic and break free from the net. A desperate struggle ensues as Jeff grapples with the massive serpent, ultimately finding himself trapped between trees as the anaconda moves in for the kill, with the danger seemingly vanquished. Lon and her friends make their escape using Jeff's boat, leaving the forest behind, but as they depart, the beheaded snake is stores to life, hinting at the possibility of further adventures yet to come. And with that, the movie ends. If you enjoy this recap, then please guys, subscribe to this channel, and thanks for watching.